Let's go to CommSec. Tom Piotrowski. Do we get a bump today? Is that an upside to last night's disappointment, Tom Piotrowski?
Look, I suppose, Pete, it's important to remember the sense of gratitude that we owe these young ladies for lifting the spirits of the nation to the extent that they have in recent days. You know, it's heartbreaking, yes, but that's the romance of the journey, I suppose.
Were you off your seat when Sam Kerr scored last night, Tom?
It was just the most extraordinary thing, just a prodigious talent, that young lady. We could do with a few more teenagers coming through the ranks with that type of ability. I'm sure they've been inspired.
Yeah, I'm sure they're coming through. So how are we looking today on the numbers front?
Well, Pete, unfortunately, I don't have good news to report on this front because the last couple of days have been quite challenging for stock markets broadly around the world for a variety of reasons, and that trend continued last night. If there's a way of describing it, we saw stocks down and interest rates up. So going backwards from the US, the minutes from the last US FOMC meeting, the last interest rate decision, pointed to the likelihood of higher interest rates in the medium term. That pushed both long and short-term interest rates higher, and we saw downward pressure coming to bear on US stocks, particularly technology names. So the Nasdaq was down by 1.2%, the S&P 500 down 0.75%, Dow down by about 0.5%. They started at their best levels, ended at their worst. Interest rates just moving into a new range on the top side, Pete, as a result of this conversation, which has been around for a couple of weeks now. And in Europe, it was a similar situation. The sell-off wasn't as aggressive, but in the UK in particular, we were reminded of how challenging inflation can be. They saw a higher reading there, and that weighed on European stocks more broadly, but UK interest rates moved aggressively higher, and that was the factor pushing stocks down to a large extent where Europe was concerned.